Hello, this would be a short video. I just want to show you guys how I do things, I guess. They're like at the very end of my videos, it says where imagination becomes creation. Sometimes you have to think outside the box. And yeah, we have all these gadgets and tools that we can use for recording to get the right angle, the right spot, or anything else. But then that just means that there's one more thing, or 5 more things, that we have to keep track of. And I'm not that, I have enough between tools and everything else. Obviously, we never have enough tools, but I mean the little things. And it gets too monotonous. So, when you think of film directors and how they have these cameras that lift up and move around and try to get the right angle, obviously I'm not a professional. I don't think anybody is in photography who's actually on YouTube, or a woodworker anyway. I think Nick Cimetti, he has a show in Europe. I think he's in London or England somewhere, I'm not for sure. But I know he did a TV show there for a little while. He had his own little thing where all the makers got together and either refurbish things or whatever it may be. So he has probably more knowledge than all this together. I know MoonPie, he does really well with his computer graphics, his opening scenes, his intros, he does really well, so I know he's far beyond me. But I'm still getting into this, and it's not an excuse, it's just I'm not a computer guy, I'm a hands guy. But either way, what I really brought you on for was that I wanted to show you some of the things I just finished that are going to make me get better angles and be able to not clutter up my table with something trying to hold on to it so I can have the camera there so you can see what I'm doing here or over here by my other bench. It becomes monotonous trying to keep everything clean and moved, and when we're in a workshop or working, there's no room for, I mean, it's not as clean as you go doing this here. So it's clean after everything's done. So I'm going to show you a couple of things that I made, just finished, and I'm really excited about it. Some of you people might go, well, that's kind of really amateur. Well, I'm an amateur, but it works for me. And anybody else out there who, doesn't like spending money on gadgets that you don't really truly need, well, this video is for you. Because it's right now, this is phenomenal how this is set up right now. Between the two, what you guys can see me, I can move it around, and it's not shaking all over the place. I can get different angles with it. So let me get you off of that, and then we'll do a little walk around and I'll show you. Okay, this was the first thing that I did. This thing right here. My neighbor threw it away. It was part of I think it was a blanket type Afghan thing. It was 2 pieces. So you had one here and you had one here, and they both had 2 feet on it. One foot here, 1 foot here, not 4. So what I did was just turn this up here, so the piece I'm holding in my hand fits onto here, and added the other legs to this. And that helped me get this thing, even, so I'm facing that way on this table. Well, this table I use for a lot of different things. Mixing resin, you name it. So what I did is I made this here. It's kind of hard to show you, but let me get this out of the way. I made this here. So now this here spins completely around so I can face this way. And if I grab it again, I can bring it back over here to get this angle. So that works for that. This here, yellow stand here, I use that to mount the camera on when I'm over there. I put it over there so it faces the lathe. And that gets in the way of my feet or whatever as I'm moving around, but it works. And that there was an old light, what do you call it, construction lights? There they are up there. Okay, that's what that was. I paid, I think, 10 bucks for it 5 years ago at a garage sale. Lights still work, but I don't use them anymore, so I just kept that. The other thing I made is right there. That stick right here, okay? I'm calling it a stick, but what I did is I made a 4x4 box. So between this piece here and this piece here, it is 5 inches. So altogether, I have 40 inches that sits there. So if I'm over here mixing resin, I could be facing down like this here and not trying to figure out how to mount something up here to put that little thing I showed you up here so you can see down. That's a pain in the butt. My lathe, I have to go over here. My lathe, every lathe has stands, legs. I took the legs off because no matter what you put on there, it vibrates like crazy. It takes it around the garage. This is a cheaper lathe. It's a Harbor Freight lathe. So it's a knockoff of, I think, of a Grizzly. But as a beginner, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money and, do something I may or may not like. So I got the cheaper one, or the cheapest one they had, I guess. That's the only one they sell, it's that big. So I got that one. It works so far. But can I use a better one? Sure, most definitely. The stand that it's on is a crate. And what I did is that I just put a skeleton on the inside of it. Framed the skeleton inside of it, made it strong enough and durable enough to hold my different things I have in there. And this here was a old, what do they call it, medical file, cabinet file they used to use. And I think this one here had 12 drawers in it at one time. So I added a door to it, which is no door on it. On the inside, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, there was 7 shelves. So I took the drawers out of it and made a box. So there's all my resins, not my resins, I keep mixing that up. My pigments and everything else that I have, and that one. Down here, I have molds, some red, green rocks. Here I have letters, the things you see me make here earlier with the flowers and the hearts and whatever. Older pieces of wood down here. Yeah, so that is, I guess, the sum of the video of making things out of your imagination without going to Lowe's or Home Depot or wherever else to buy these things. And it's a lot cheaper to actually do it that way, to me, and you can customize it the way you want it. I'm losing you here. There we go. And you can customize it the way you want it, and it's built for you. Because these manufacturers who build things, they're not building them. They're build's the best idea to make the most efficient way of doing things, but even we have to, you know, customize those things sometimes too as well. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show you, was some of the things that, as far as, you know, imagination becomes creation. And if you can imagine it, if you have the tools to create it, you can do it. So again, this is nothing that's, you know, New Yankee Workshop. I love Norm Abram. He's the guy who got me even doing wood to begin with. But he called himself a Yankee because he never threw anything away. So I guess that's me. I have a scrap pile of junk wood over there that, like, I made a scrap bowl. In my first scrap bowl, but I didn't, you know, so either way, all these scraps and everything else. So that's why I make a short video showing you different things, excuse me, that if you have the imagination, you can make it. And there's also one more thing. I'm going to send you guys over there. Man, that works nice. Right there. This here, let's see. Okay. This here is literally two pieces of wood stapled together with a lawnmower handle, and it lifts up and holds my other stuff here. This here, can you see this right here? Yeah. This here is an old way of making a door open and close. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, you can. Right here, it's just a screw, two big, huge, I don't know, 11/16" nuts. Get in there. I just turned the old lawnmower piece like this here, opens and closes. That's that in there. And can you see the hinge? That is actually a bolt held on by two eye outlets, a strap, so that's a hinge. So, like I was saying, if you can't imagine it, you can do it. And that's what I like doing woodwork for. Is it complicated sometimes trying to figure things out? Sure. But if you're not trying to figure things out, make things better around you, or better for somebody else, like your neighbors or your family or whoever it may be, because my garage is open to all my neighbors. If they need something, I'll do it for them. I have a welder across the street, so he welds for me if I need something welded. I have my other neighbor across the street from me. He does a lot of, he knows a lot of electricity, so he'll help me with that there, as far as different voltages or whatever. Computers, the guy's Einstein when it comes to computers. So he's the one who helped me understand how to video this here, put it onto a computer, and make a video. If it wasn't for him, I'd still be scratching my head like Fred Flintstone trying to figure out how to invent a wheel. I wouldn't be able to do it. I am that far back with computers. But both my neighbors, all my neighbors are great people. That's why the Bible says, love thy neighbor like I love thyself. So when you give to your neighbors from your heart, doesn't mean you want anything back in return, but they wind up loving you for who you are because you're true, you're real. And you don't have to be a holier than thou Christian. I'm a Christian, but you have to be holier than thou. It just simply says, like Christ says, love thy neighbor like I love thyself. And not only, even at home with my wife, I'm the servant first, then the husband, then the father to my children. So it's the same thing with my neighbors. I serve my neighbors. I serve my community. I serve people. That's just my heart. And it's what I hope that through some of these videos, or I know through my neighbors, they say it all the time. It's no credit to myself, it's only credit to God himself, because he's the one who gave me the heart. But I pray that more people are like that, because this world is obviously going, I'm getting off base. Anyway, imagination is creation. If you can imagine it, then you can create it. So thanks for the short video, or I hope you liked the short video, and we'll see you in the next one. God bless.